In the following video, two men accidentally captured something terrifying while recording a casual moment during a rainy night. They were simply documenting the weather, joking and talking as the rain poured down. But when one of them pointed the camera toward an abandoned house across the street, something strange appeared in the footage. Take a look at the video.
Malam bantu aku. Hujannya kenceng kali, bre. Hujan angin anjing. Wow. Ini dinginnya. Anjing, sono apa tuh? Wih, hujan-hujan ada penampakan nih. Cuk, hujan-hujan di rumah kosong ada penampakan, cuk.
In one of the windows of the abandoned house, a faint white figure can be seen standing completely still, as if watching them from inside. Although the shape is partly obscured by shadows and the heavy rain, its outline resembles a pale human-like figure. The man holding the camera froze for a few seconds before panicking and lowering his phone. To this day, no one knows whether the apparition was a ghostly presence or something else entirely. This next video comes from the dashboard camera of a couple driving home around midnight. The road was quiet, lit only by their headlights, and everything seemed perfectly normal. But a few seconds later, their camera captured something completely unexpected. Take a look at the footage.
Abi nampak tak? Macam benda putih.
Nampak tapi macam dek. Terus pelik je tengok tadi. Panjang.
Habis sebelah sikit nak tengok benda apa. Cari.
In the recording, a woman dressed in white with long flowing hair stands motionless on the side of the road, as if staring directly at their passing car. At first, only the wife noticed her. With a mix of fear and curiosity, the husband turned the car around to double-check what they had seen. But when they passed the same spot again, the woman was no longer there. She was now standing across the road, silently watching them from a different angle. The couple panicked and continued driving without stopping again. To this day, no one knows who the woman was, whether she was an actual person or a supernatural figure that appeared only for a moment in the dead of night. A Russian YouTuber named Tim Morozov returned to a forest that had long haunted him, both in memory and reputation. The forest is infamous for the disappearance of a hunter and his companion, and ever since, locals believe the place is cursed. This time, Tim brought his loyal dog, Kucha, determined to uncover the truth. He retraced his old path, a torn tent, the remains of an old campfire, and the damp scent of soil still carrying echoes of past fear. Equipped with spiritual audio devices, he hoped to communicate with any lingering spirits and prove whether the stories were myth or reality.
У каждого свое место. У меня отдельная палатка. Кучум спит. Да, еще впереди день пути, но Кто здесь? Ну, собственно, вот как-то так. Кучум! Кучум, ты куда? Ты чувствуешь кого-то? Здесь есть кто? Кучум! Друзья, я не знаю, что делать. Или просто ушел погулять. Кучум! Больше ничего не слышно. Ни лая.
The first night passed quietly until Kucha suddenly began barking frantically into the darkness. Before Tim could react, the dog bolted into the woods and vanished. Tim chased after him, calling his name, but only his own echo responded. By morning, Kucha had still not returned. Exhausted and worried, Tim continued on alone. Along the path, he found a still warm campfire, a small wooden enclosure, and a strip of red cloth hanging from a tree, the same sign he had encountered in his previous expedition. Following the clues, he reached a large dead tree said to be the site of ancient shaman rituals. As night fell again, Tim set up his equipment and began his spirit calling session. The air grew cold, and the forest, once filled with insects, fell completely silent. As if waiting, Tim spoke into the recorder, asking if any spirits were present. But before he could continue, something terrifying happened. Watch the video closely.
Если здесь кто-нибудь есть, вы можете выйти со мной на контакт? Души пропавших в этом лесу. Если вы тут, вы можете со мной выйти на контакт? Барабаны.
sharp whistling sound cut through the darkness. An arrow shot out from the trees and struck the trunk mere inches from Tim's face. Stunned, he ducked for cover, but before he could catch his breath, a second arrow flew past him. Then a third slammed into the wood beside him. Chaos erupted as more arrows launched from unseen attackers. Trembling, he ran and hid behind the trees, recording everything until the footage abruptly ended. No one knows who or what was attacking him that night.
Очень сильно болит. Боюсь куда-либо пойти.
This frightening incident took place around 3 p.m. on a quiet Saturday. A woman named Bonita Adonis was home alone, enjoying a rare, peaceful afternoon while watching TV in the kitchen. Her relatives had been staying with her for months, but on this day, everyone was out of town. At least, she thought she was truly alone, until her kitchen CCTV proved otherwise. Take a look at the recording. For several minutes, everything appeared normal. Then something strange happened. The gas stove suddenly shook violently, as if someone forcefully pushed it. Moments earlier, a faint shadow had brushed past the wall, and shortly after, the stove jolted again. Bonita initially dismissed the noise as a technical issue, but after reviewing the footage, she was convinced something else was happening. Her family believes the incident was supernatural, especially since her grandmother had passed away in the same house just weeks prior. During the mourning period, several relatives claimed to have seen an elderly figure in the kitchen late at night. They believe the grandmother's spirit may still linger in the house, trying to communicate. Skeptics online argue it could simply be gas pressure or mechanical vibrations. To this day, no one knows for sure what happened in Bonita's kitchen. Was it truly the spirit of her grandmother, or just a coincidence that looked eerie on camera? What do you think? This disturbing encounter happened to a man who was home alone one night. In his video description, he explained that everything had been quiet until he suddenly heard knocking on his window. At first, he thought it was just the wind or a branch hitting the glass, but the knocking repeated with an odd rhythm, making him uneasy. Curious and frightened, he grabbed his phone to record what was happening.
¿Qué coño? Acaban de tocar la ventana. Cojones, tío. Si aquí no pueden llegar. Miren esto. ¿Qué ¿Qué mierda? ¿Qué es eso, tío? ¿Qué coño es eso? ¿Qué coño es eso?
When he opened the window, a mysterious figure stood outside his house, watching him from a distance. The figure wore black clothing, with a pale face and an expression that seemed frozen. Staring directly into the camera without moving, the man was terrified but kept recording. He said he had no idea what he was looking at, whether it was a person trying to scare him or something much more unsettling.
¿Qué mierda? ¿Qué es eso, tío? ¿Qué coño es eso? ¿Qué coño es eso?
This final clip is from a viral TikTok video. In it, a man uses Randonautica, an app rumored to lead users to random locations with strange energies. Following the app's coordinates, he ended up at a ruined, abandoned building far from the nearest homes. He intended to film a simple exploration until the night took a terrifying turn. Watch the footage carefully.
¿Qué onda, raza? Estaba jugando randonáutica y me trajo aquí. A ver qué hay. No mames. No mames.
In the dark, silent surroundings, his camera captures a bizarre figure standing among the ruins. At first glance, it looks like a naked man, but its movements are unnatural, rigid, jerky, and its eyes seem locked directly onto the camera. Seconds later, the figure lunges forward as if trying to chase him. Panicking, he runs while holding his phone, his terrified breathing loud in the recording. The video ends abruptly, as if he stopped filming in a desperate attempt to escape. No one knows what happened afterward, whether he managed to get away or whether something far worse occurred.